it's Shari here, and I have another journal page for you, and I'm starting off with watercolor cardstock, and I'm using the smooth side, and I'm going to be doing some experimenting, so I hope that everything turns out as I go, and I'll be doing the live voiceover for you so I can try to explain all the product. Okay, so I'm starting off with the reverse damask from Tim Holtz, and I'm going to use some of the Distress Paint Antique Bronze, and you have to shake these up. It has a little roller ball in there that you shake them up. And I'm going to put down paint first so that I can get a resist with my sprays in a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just start inking up the stamp. And I'm not going to ink the whole thing up or put paint on the whole thing. I just want like edges. So I'm just going to add some. And actually I might go this way. I'm going to kind of mute these out a little bit where it has the little dots. And you can use a baby wipe or a paper towel. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in the corner here and press that down. And so this is my base layer. It will resist everything else, or all the water-soluble type inks and distress paints and stuff like that. So that gives me a really pretty impression. I'm going to add a little bit more to go down the side. Okay, so my paint's completely dry, and this next part is totally experimental. I thought I would try this. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but what I've done is I've used the Tim Holtz, this is the Tattered Leaves, and I've cut some tissue paper. And this is just regular gift wrap tissue paper, and I've just cut a few layers here. Like I said, totally experimental. We'll see if this is going to work. I'm going to make sure that I get like one layer of these. And I'm going to do a few on here. Try to separate these out. Sometimes I get crazy ideas, and I thought, well, it might be fun to go ahead and try this with live and see if it's going to work. Oh, I kind of ripped that one. I'll get a new one. So let me get a few. So my page is all about fall because that's kind of what the season that we're rolling into right now. Where's my other leaf? Oh, here it is. And so this whole page is going to be kind of fall colors. But my background I'm going to do in blues and greens, just because of that's, you know, the skies and there is some green in the back. Okay, so here's my idea. We'll see if it's going to work. So I thought, what happens if I water this down, and I'm just using my mini mister, just getting some water down. Remember, it's watercolor paper. And then I lay my tissue paper on here. You with me on this? And the tissue paper is going to stick. I'm just going to be kind of random. Just lay some down. Oops, that one's folded. Go a different direction. Sorry if I get quiet. I usually, when I'm creating, I'm usually kind of quiet. I expect the phone to ring, because that will just always happen for me. Okay. What I'm hoping with this is that the color when I go to spray will be lighter where the tissue paper is. But we'll see. I don't think I have enough water on this one here. And the reason why I'm using water first is not just to get the tissue paper to hold, but also so when I go to spray that it doesn't have too much spray and it'll look more kind of watercolory. Okay, that leaf kind of got a little bent, but I'm okay with that. All right, so I got my leaves down. Let's see if I can get this to work. Okay, so I'm going to start off with, this is peeled paint. And I'm going to kind of protect my surface up here. I always overspray. so getting in some peeled paint here and there. Also some evergreen bough, because I really love evergreen bough. Yummy. Actually, that first one I did was crushed olive. I'm sorry. There's peeled paint. Okay, so this is already starting out to be pretty. I'm moving this up a little bit. So in here I have those sprays, which I'm okay with, but you can go ahead and wet those down, and that's pretty cool looking. You know what? It'd be really awesome if those leaves would stay in there. Those tissue paper leaves looks pretty cool. So let me go back in with some peacock feathers up in the top here. Oof. When I say oof, it's like, oh, it's gorgeous. Okay. And then down at the bottom, I'm going to add in some more peeled paint. Not sure if you can see the bottom very well. Okay, so that looks super to me. I'm going to add a little more crushed olive in here. Okay, so I'm going to try to dry this, and we'll see what I have when I'm done. Okay, next I am going to use my layering stencil, the lattice work, and I'm going to add in some peacock feathers paint on top of this because I still want a little bit more blue. So my paint has been sitting a while, get it going. A lot of times when that happens, I'll go ahead and get this tip wet. And it kind of like just loosens it up a little bit. You can see it kind of smoosh around. And now I can get that paint moving again. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to be applying this with my blending tool here. Make sure I cap that off, clean my finger. And I'm going to go in some of these areas that are a little more green or yellow. I don't really want to cover up any of the leaves that I already have down. Let me see if I can get more of that out. But I just want to get an idea of this lattice work in here. You can kind of see it starting to happen. Let me get a little bit more paint. Okay, now that my background is pretty much done, my paint's dry, I'm going to go in with some walnut stain and just kind of darken up some of the edges. And I have my little round applicator here. And you know the drill, you just go around the edges. It's going to resist in where that paint is. It's going to look lovely up there. And I'm going to speed this up, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I am looking at this and I think this is kind of boring in this area here, so I'm going to see if I can just do something a little bit different. And so what I'll do is I'm just going to set my stencil down here, and I'm going to add a little bit of water to that area. And of course I'm going to let this set for a minute or two. And I'm not really looking for super clean letters for when I'm done. I'm just going to grab a paper towel here. And then I'm going to go ahead and lighten that up a bit by blotting that water up. And that gave me exactly what I wanted. So it has a little bit of different color in there. So I'm going to go ahead and dry this. And I think I'm going to get ready to do some stamping. Alright, so everything's dry, and I have another leaf from that leaf set, and I'm going to go in with some potting soil, archival ink, and this is the Wendy Vecchi. And so I have a little string on there. I'm just going to add a few of these leaves in brown, and this will kind of square out my whole look that I'm looking for. Give me a little more depth. It's absolutely gorgeous, nice veiny leaf. And I usually do ink to stamp, but I'm getting lazy here and I'm just doing stamp to ink. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a few more of these on. Okay, another experiment time. I'm really happy with how my background turned out. I have a little bit of metallic. I've got some great layers of color. I can still see the leaf imprints in the back, so I'm really happy with the background. Okay, so I have run the leaf, tatter leaves with a paper bag, and this is a fairly thin paper bag, not like a really big size. And I'm thinking I'm going to stain these, so I do want to add a little water first. I don't know how this paper is going to react. We'll see. And I want to use like some orange colors. So I have some Rusty Hinge spray, and I'm going to go ahead and just spray that in. And I think I'm going to also use a brown. I'm going to go for Vintage Photo and just see how this goes. Ooh. And my thought is I'm going to crinkle these up when I'm done. I do want some splatters on here. Ooh. Sorry for the... Okay, that's pretty awesome. And I think I might go ahead and add just a slight bit of green, and for that, my favorite green is always peeled paint. Absolutely love it. Ooh. I get all excited when I do this. I'm trying to get just a little hair of it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to let these dry, and I'm going to shoot them with my heat tool until they start to want to fly away, but we'll see how they turn out when they're done. Okay, so the next thing I have, I'm going to start putting my letters and stuff on. My leaves are dry. I have my page sitting off to the side. So I have these canvas letters. These are from Studio Calico. You can use any of the canvas letters. I'm going to use paint on this because sometimes when I use stains, it just kind of loses its color as it soaks in. So I'm going to go ahead and just color these with the antique bronze, and it will go lovely with my page. And I get really nice coverage. And I think that's beautiful. Really easy to cover. And I'll let those dry. I've also used these Tim Holtz letter set, which is sitting around here somewhere that I can't find right now. Oh, here it is. I have this pile off to my side. I've stamped those also with the antique bronze on watercolor paper, and I'm letting these dry. I'll be cutting these out into tiles, and so I'm going to spray them with some of the stains, and I'll be back and I'm going to put everything together. And here's my finished page. I absolutely love it. So I've added my tile letters, and I crunched up my leaves and put them at the bottom with a little bit of the Tim Holtz linen ribbon, and also added a few more stickers to complete my title. I hope I've inspired you to just go for it and try new things, and really, thanks for watching.